heavy and light. We saw that staircase, deliberately lightweight. Playing heavy, visually heavy construction against visually lightweight construction is a way to create real interest. We did it with that staircase. Here's another example with a house. In this particular house, you can see here, a lot of the walls are rendered masonry to emphasize the weight. In between that, there's timber weatherboarding, which feels much more lightweight. And the contrast, the juxtaposition of the heavy and the light is one of the things that gives it some visual excitement. Another picture of that house from the side, you can see the loft conversion up here is almost like a jack-in-the-box popping out of the heavier casing of the house around it. Heavy and light doesn't have to be a contemporary thing. This is a conversion of a barn. You can see the lovely old heavy stone walls of the original barn, the roof of the original barn, and then a much more lightweight staircase and bridge built within that space. Again, playing off the heavy against the light is a lovely technique to create some real interest and wow factor. That's at the top of the bridge in that same project. You can see lightweight, looking very, very minimal glass, very simple bridge, the heavy stone of the original house and the heavy timbers of the original house there. Charging ahead, materials. We've talked about stone and glass and stainless steel. Using materials sensitively is one of the ways to create real wow factor. For example, a material everybody likes or everyone seems to like is glass. This kitchen has got a bar top, a raised bar top, which is not only a glass bar top, but it's actually UV bonded to glass bar supports. And it creates a very, very exciting element on what is really quite a simple little kitchen island with a stone top. But these tall glass fins supporting this glass bar make the whole thing much more exciting. Using materials in an exciting way is a great way to introduce excitement into your design. Glass, of course, can be used for more than just bar tops. Here it is used as a balustrade, and here in a frosted effect, used as a partition. You can use glass as sliding, you can glass in all sorts of ways. It's a very, very versatile material. It needs to be designed very, very precisely. It's not got any give in it particularly. It needs very precise design, but if handled correctly, it can give you some really exciting results. But it's not just all about glass. This kitchen, for example, mixes some different materials. Here we've got warm cherry wood for worktops, but in the areas around the sink and in this picture, the hob, we've got stainless steel, which is much more hard wearing. A lot of people feel stainless steel is quite a clinical, cold-looking material in a kitchen. They don't want that sort of cold, they want something a little bit warmer. This kitchen nicely combines the warmth of the cherry wood with the practicality of the stainless steel to give you the best of both worlds. So offsetting different materials together is often a way of creating a really nice effect. In this particular case, the cherry wood not only comes underneath the stainless steel here, but then goes up and across the ceiling to encompass this whole space. Another unusual material for a house, rubber. This is a Air Force Blue rubber. There's a fantastic French company that make rubber tiles in pretty much any color you want, and they're very, very practical. Again, we didn't design this bathroom to be rubber for the sake of it. We designed it because it was a bathroom for kids. We knew they'd be splashing water all over the place. We wanted a material that was going to be practical, clean down easily, not get water damaged. Rubber presented itself as a really practical solution that worked, and then we used it to give real wow factor to the bathroom. So it's not just about choosing something to give wow factor, it's about getting the function right and then applying it in such a way that you can create excitement. Charging ahead, depth and layers. Now this is very important in terms of, particularly in terms of house interiors. One way in which to create real interest of an interior is rather than just walk in and see a room, walk in, see one room, see past that or through that into another space, and maybe past that and through that into yet another space. Having these layers of depth creates real interest and real excitement. It also connects houses together really nicely. In this particular house, I showed you already this staircase. One of the reasons we did that staircase is we wanted to create this depth. Standing here in the kitchen, at this end of the photograph, looking through the dining room, past the staircase into the living room to the window beyond. Creating that depth is a very good way to create real excitement and dynamism in your interiors. This is a photograph looking back the other way from the staircase, and you can see the kitchen down there. Again, through the dining space, into the kitchen, through the dining space, and eventually to the garden. That depth and layer technique is a very good way to create interest and excitement. Here again, the front door is just off shot to your left-hand side. There, you come through the front door, and in this wall, there's a hole, a rectangular hole that deliberately frames a view through to the dining room. Setting up, thinking about, as you enter a space, what are you going to see? How am I going to control that view? How am I going to direct somebody's eyes? Am I going to use the direction of floorboards? Am I going to use an opening in a wall to frame a view? All of those things are very, very effective techniques to create more interest and to direct the view at a particular focus point. Here's another example. Coming in from the hallway, looking across the dining table to the kitchen, across the dining table to the living room, off to this side, across the dining room table to the study, which you can't see in this photograph, and through to the garden beyond. All about creating layers and depth, and in this particular case I particularly like it because none of them are directly at you, none of them are square onto you. It's taking you off in these opposing directions, creating more interest. Declutter. One of the constant things you'll see in all these lovely pictures of lovely homes and all the pictures on our website and all the pictures on this presentation is that these spaces are clean. They're not cluttered up with loads and loads of stuff. How do you declutter space? The fact is we all have lots of stuff. How do we control that? Here, for example, is a bathroom. This bathroom, nothing very expensive here, but we actually managed to get into this. Twin basins, a loo, a bath, and a shower, and a sliding shower screen. And yet the lines are very, very clean. We've been very disciplined in creating very simple forms. No messing, no interruption to the basic shape and forms. It gives more light, it gives more sense of space, and a better effect. That same bathroom in reverse, you can see in fact that sliding screen that comes over across the bath slides in front of these cupboards which contain the boiler, washing machine, tumble dryer. This room actually contains an awful lot, but the overall effect is great simplicity, and that's a really good way to create the best effect. Don't clutter it up. Again, you can see in this project, incidentally, very tall doors. These doors are 8 foot high, and look at the lovely, elegant proportion of those doorways compared to a standard door that would finish probably about there, or there, somewhere like that. This is the detailing. Again, keeping the detailing very simple. Getting down to the detail, you can see here a couple of very little stainless steel forks just to stop the glass swinging, and that allows it to be very, very free. Keeping things clean doesn't mean you can't have ornament. If people, a lot of people, their aesthetic is something more country or more ornamental. This kitchen is actually quite ornamental, and yet the basic design and the layout of this kitchen is extremely simple. The lines are very clean. It's basically an L-shape worktop and a table in the middle and a feature light over the table. And yet the fittings chosen give it a completely different style. If you try to use this style in a complicated kitchen, it would look like a complete mess. It only works because it's a very, very simple layout. The other thing about decluttering is storage. If you can shut things away, give everything its place. This little home office space is really cute. You just fold these doors shut and the whole thing's gone away. Open the doors and there's your little home office. Computer, filing, all of that sort of thing. Just pull up a chair and it's all there working for you. If you've got a place for these things, you can shut the doors, you achieve this decluttered effect. However, if you have a desk out and all the inevitable detritus that goes with it, it's going to mess up the interior and everything's going to look more messy.